It's in the Torah of Yahuwah. But His delight is in the Torah of Yahuwah, and on His word He meditates day and night. He meditates day and night. Like a tree firmly planted by streams of living water, which yields a seed in its season, and its leaf does not wither, and in all it does it prospers. It's delight. It's in the Torah of Yahuwah. His delight is in the Torah of Yahuwah, and on His way He meditates day and night.
Welcome to Scriptural Foundations Sabbath service. Appreciate you joining me today on the set-apart day of Yahuwah. Now we'll listen to a shofar blast. I'm not good at blowing the shofar, so we have a digital one. So we'll play the shofar blast to welcome Yahuwah into our service, and then we'll begin with the blessing. So now we'll begin with the blessings. Bear with me here while I change over. I have to share to my TV, so I don't have all the fancy equipment that all the other people do. So I'm gonna start showing the screen when we do the blessings so that you guys can read along. Right. Now, the candle blessings that we do are a little different than the traditional Hebrew blessing. The reason for that is the traditional Hebrew blessing says that we're commanded to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Well, there's no such command, so we want to be completely truthful, so we modified it a little bit. It is tradition for the female head of the eldest female of the house to light the candles. We don't have any candles and we can't have candles here, so once I get some electronic ones, we'll get my aunt up here to do the blessing. But for now, we'll just read it. Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehiot or legoyim v'natan lanu et Yahusha Meshikeinu or haolam Selah. Pardon me, I'm just going to move this so you guys can see. There we go. Again, Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehiyot or legoyim v'natan lanu et Yahusha Meshikeinu or haolam Selah. Blessed are you, Yahuwah our Elohim, King of the universe, who has sanctified us by his commandments, commanded us to be a light unto the world, and has given unto us Yahusha our Messiah, the light of the world. Selah. The Shabbat Shalom song. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. The blessing of Mashiach. Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu et derek Yeshua Mashiach Yahusha Blessed art you, Yahuwah our Elohim, King of the universe, who has given us the way of salvation in Messiah Yahusha. Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam barit olam. B'nei uvayan b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, kishishet ya'amin asa Yahuwah, et ha-shamayim va'et ha'aretz uvayam ha-shavi'i Shabbat v'yinafash. The children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath and observe the Sabbath throughout their generations as an everlasting covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days Yahuwah made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he ceased from his work and rested. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Shabbat to another, all flesh shall come to worship before me, says Yahuwah. Ve'ohavta, and you shall love. And you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your might. And have these words which I command you this day be upon your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you retire, and when you arise. You shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and let them be as frontlets between your eyes. You shall write them upon the doorposts of your house and upon your gates. Kaddish. Magnified and sanctified be Yahuwah's great name in the world which he has created according to his will. May he establish his kingdom during your life, and during your days, and during the life of the whole house of Israel, even swiftly and soon. Selah. Let his great name be blessed forever, and to all eternity, blessed, praised, glorified, exalted, extolled, and honored. Magnified and lauded be the name of Yahuwah, the Holy One, blessed is he. Yahuwah is high above all the blessings and songs, praises and consolations which are uttered in the world. Selah. May he who makes peace in his high places make peace upon us and upon all of Israel. Selah. The Shema, if you would please, stand and face towards Israel, Jerusalem, wherever you're at, in whatever direction that might be. For us, it's south-southeast. And so we'll sing the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchutu, Leolam Vayed. Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah our Elohim, Yahuwah is one. Blessed be his glorious name, whose kingdom is forever and ever. Selah. If you're standing, you can have a seat now. The Barku. Barku et Yahuwah Hamvorak. Baruch Yahuwah Hamvorak Leolam Vayed. Bless Yahuwah who is to be praised. Blessed be Yahuwah who is praised for all eternity. The Mika Mocha. Mika Mocha, Baelim Yahuwah, Mika Mocha, Nedar Bakodesh, Norat Tahilo, Ose, Fele, Ose, Fele. Who is like you, O Yah, among the gods? Who is like you, Yah, there is none else. You are awesome in praise, doing wonders, O Yah. Who is like you, O Yah? The answer to that is no one. Not even his son is equal to him. The blessing of the bread. Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu melech haolam chamotzi lechem min haaretz. Blessed are you, Yahuwah our Elohim, King of the universe, who brings forth bread from out of the earth. Selah. Blessing of the juice or the wine. Baruch atah Yahuwah Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen. Blessed are you, Yahuwah our Elohim, King of the universe, who creates the fruit of the vine. Selah. All right, bear with me here while I hand out bread and juice to those that are here with me. Now, when we do Shabbat, our tradition, and I call it a tradition because it's not a command, we put butter and honey on our challah bread. And the reason we do that is because of Isaiah chapter 7 through 9 is a foreshadowing of Yahusha's office as Mashiach. It's a foreshadowing of the office of Mashiach. And in chapter 7, 14 and 15, it says that he would eat butter and honey so he would know to refuse the evil and choose the good. So in honor of that passage and in honor of Yahusha, we also put butter and honey on our challah bread so that we can remember to always choose the good and refuse the evil. And it makes the challah bread so much more tasty. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is something you see me do, and if you're a leader of a congregation or you run a service, your first and foremost job is to be a servant to those around you. And most leaders fail in that regard. Being in that kind of position, your job is to be humble and to be a servant. All right, so now we're going to partake. Turn it back around here. All right, everybody get your bread if you have some. 1 Corinthians 12:24 says, "And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat, this is my body which is broken for you. This do ye in remembrance of me." So you also notice there that this is a command from Yahusha. He commanded us to do this remembrance. And the blessing of the juice. 1 Corinthians 12:25 says, "After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the renewed covenant in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. For as oft as ye eat of this bread and drink of this cup, you do show Yahusha's death until he comes." So again, unlike the Catholics, we do not believe that we are actually partaking of his body and blood. We are doing this as a remembrance to him only. All right, bear with me here while I get switched back over. Now we'll do a short song service. Beginning with "Glory Defined" by Building 429.
wide and the shallow. But I know that you're guiding me, and the best is yet to come. You're giving me hope for tomorrow, and I know someday I'll wake up to find your glory defined, and I'll finally bow at your feet. Oh, I will lift up your name and honor and praise. When I cross over Jordan, I know that I'll be running home to you. It's always the simple things, it's always the obvious that crashes over me. It's always in front of me. It helps me to remember this is what I live for, and I can't wait till I wake up to find your glory defined, and I'll finally bow at your feet. Oh, I will lift up your name and honor and praise. When I cross over Jordan, I know that I'll be running home to you. And there's never a question in your message, and never a moment without your presence, and there's never a doubt in my mind that I'll wake up to find your glory defined, and I'll finally bow at your feet. Oh, I will lift up your name and honor and praise. When I cross over Jordan, I know that I'll be running home, and I'll wake up to find your glory defined, and I'll finally bow at your feet. Oh, I will lift up your name and honor and praise. When I cross over Jordan, I know that I'll be running home to you. And I'll be running home to you.
He expects us to chase after him, not the other way around. I am free by the Newsboys. I might try to sing along with this one.
Through you the blind will see, through you the mute will sing, through you the dead will rise, through you our hearts will praise, through you the darkness flees, through you my heart screams, I am free. Yes, I am free. I am free to run. I am free to dance. I am free to live for you. I am free. Yes, I am free. Through you the kingdom comes, through you the battle's won, through you I'm not afraid, through you the price is paid, through you there's victory, because of you my heart sings, I am free, yes I am free, and I am free. sets free is free indeed. Who the Son sets free is free indeed. I am free to run. I am free to dance. I am free to live for you. I am free. Yes, I am free.
Believing in Yahusha and following Torah is freedom. Freedom from the world, freedom from sin, freedom from violence and hate. Beautiful One by Jeremy Camp.
Wonderful, so wonderful is your unfailing love. The cross has spoken mercy over me. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no heart can fully know how glorious, how beautiful you are. Beautiful one, I love you. Beautiful one, I adore. Beautiful one, my soul must be. Powerful, so powerful, your glory fills the skies. Your mighty words displayed for all to see. The beauty of your majesty awakes my heart to see. How marvelous, how wonderful you are. Beautiful one, I love you. Beautiful one, I adore. Beautiful one, my soul must sing. Beautiful one, I love you. Beautiful one, I adore. Beautiful one, my soul must sing. Open my eyes to the wonders of me. You capture my heart with this love. Cause nothing on earth is as beautiful as you. You open my eyes to your wonders of me. You capture my heart with this love. Cause nothing on earth is as beautiful as you. Beautiful one, I love you. Beautiful one, I adore. Beautiful one, my soul must sing. Beautiful one, I love you. Beautiful one, I adore. Beautiful one, my
Isn't that the truth? Even though this world is evil and yucky, we always have Yahusha as our example of how to live according to his Father's commands. Apologize, I bumped the mute button. Anyways, we're going to do the Torah portion, the Haftarah portion, and the Brit Hadashah portions. Then we'll do the closing blessings and let you go. There's no extra teaching this week, but we will still do all of the scripture readings. So, pardon me for a moment while I get switched over to the screen so I can see what I'm doing again. Alright, so this week's Torah portion is Deuteronomy chapter 1 through Deuteronomy chapter 3. Again, I don't do partials, so we'll be reading the entire chapters in context. So if you'll turn with me to Deuteronomy chapter 1, we will get started. Right. So we have Deuteronomy chapter 1. These are the words which Moshe spoke to all Israel beyond the Jordan in the wilderness in the desert plain, opposite Suf, between Paran and Tophel, and Laban and Hatzeroth and Zahab. 11 days' journey from Horeb by the way of Mount Seir to Kadesh Barnea. And it came to be in the 40th year, in the 11th new moon, on the first day of the new moon, that Moshe spoke to the children of Israel according to all that Yahuwah had commanded concerning them. And after he had stricken Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, and Og, sovereign of Bashan, who dwelt at Ashtaroth in Edrei, beyond the Jordan in the land of Moab, Moshe undertook to declare this Torah, saying, Yahuwah our Elohim spoke to us in Horeb, saying, You have dwelt long enough at this mountain. Turn and set out on your way and go into the mountains of the Amorites, and to all the neighboring places in the desert plain, in the mountains and in the low country, and in the Negev, and on the seacoast, and to the land of Canaanites, and the Lebanon, and as far as the great river, the river Euphrates. See, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land which Yahuwah swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Jacob, to give to them and to their seed after them. And I spoke to you at that time, saying, I am unable to bear you by myself. Yahuwah your Elohim has increased you, and see, you are today as numerous as the stars of the heavens. Yahuwah Elohim of your fathers is going to add to you 1,000 times more than you are, and bless you as he has spoken to you. How do I bear your pressure and your burden and your strife by myself? Choose men wise and understanding and known to your tribes, and let me appoint them as your heads. And you answered me and said, This word which you have spoken to us to do is good. And I took the heads of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, leaders of thousands and leaders of hundreds, leaders of 50s and leaders of 10s, and officers for your tribes. But I want to pause there real quick, because notice what he says in the outset. The men they're supposed to choose are known wise men. So their character and their knowledge is already known. Okay? So they're not just choosing random people. Verse 16, And I command your judges at that time, saying, When hearing between your brothers, judge righteously between a man and his brother, or the stranger who is with him. Do not show partiality in right ruling. Hear the small as well as the great. Do not be afraid of anyone's face, for the right ruling belongs to Elohim. And the case which is too hard for you, bring to me, and I shall hear it. And I commanded you at that time all the words which you should do. Then we set out to Horeb, and went through all the great and awesome wilderness which you saw the way to the mountains of the Amorites, as Yahuwah your Elohim had commanded us, and we came to Kadesh Barnea. And I said to you, you have come to the mountains of the Amorites, which Yahuwah your Elohim is giving us. See, Yahuwah your Elohim has set the land before you. Go up and possess it, as Yahuwah your Elohim of your fathers has spoken to you. Do not fear, nor be discouraged. Excuse me. That is one of the most repeated commands in all of Scripture. Do not fear. Thou shalt not fear. Why? Because fear is unbelief. It's a product of unbelief. It's the opposite of faith. When you have strong faith, you don't fear anything or anyone. Why also? Because you're walking in Torah. You're walking in Yahuwah's commands. And you know that he has your back. And all of you came nearer to me and said, let us send men before us, and let them search out the land for us, and bring back word to us of the way by which we should go up, and of the cities into which we would come. And the matter was good in my eyes, so I took 12 of your men, 1 man from each tribe. And they turned and went up into the mountains, and came to the Wadi of Eshcol, and spied it out. And they took some of the fruit of the land in their hands, and brought it down to us. And they brought back word to us, saying, the land which Yahuwah your Elohim, our Elohim, is giving us is good. But you would not go up, and rebelled against the mouth of Yahuwah your Elohim, and grumbled in your tents, and said, because Yahuwah was hating us. Oh my goodness, how prideful and arrogant is that? Saying that Yahuwah hates them after all the things that he's done for them? Oh my goodness. He has brought us out of the land of Mitzrayim to give us into the hand of the Amorites and to destroy us. Holy smokes, that's evil. Where are we going to? Our brothers have made our hearts melt, saying the people are greater and taller than we, and the cities are great and walled up to the heavens, and we saw the sons of Anakim there too. Does that any of that matter? Absolutely not. Yahuwah can overcome anything of this world, or the spiritual world for that matter. Then I said to you, have no dread or fear of them. See, again, thou shalt not fear. Yahuwah your Elohim, who is going before you, he does fight for you, according to all he did for you in Mitzrayim, before your eyes, and in the wilderness where you saw how Yahuwah your Elohim has borne you, as a man bears his son, and all the way that you went until you came to this place. Yet in this matter, you are putting no trust in Yahuwah your Elohim. No faith, no trust. You see? Faith and trust builds strength and shoos fear away. It melts fear because it can't stand in Yahuwah when you're in faith and trust. Who is going before you in the way to seek out a place for you to pitch your tents, to show you the way you should go in fire by night and in a cloud by day. And here's just a refresher or a reminder, if you've gone through any of our other studies, it was not Yahuwah that was in the cloud by day and the fire by night, the pillar of fire by night. That was Yahushua HaMashiach. If you go through the pre-existence study, we prove that out in Scripture. So Yahusha existed prior to his birth, and he was Abba Yahuwah's tool, his representative, his magistrate, his messenger, before he was born to flesh. Verse 34, and Yahuwah heard the voice of your words, and was wroth, and took an oath, saying, not one of these men of this evil generation shall see the good land of which I swore to give to your fathers, except Caleb son of Jephunneh. He shall see it, and to him and his children I give the land on which he walked, because he followed Yahuwah completely. And Yahuwah was enraged with me for your sake, saying, you do not go in there either. Okay, so why was Moshe banned? Because of his disobedience. He was given commands to do certain things, and he did his own thing in anger. Yehoshua, son of Nun, who stands before you, he shall go in there. Strengthen him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit. And your little ones and your children, who you say are for a prey, who today have no knowledge of good and evil, they are going in there, and to them I give it, and they are to possess it. But you turn and take your journey into the wilderness by the way of the Sea of Reeds. Then you answered and said to me, we have sinned against Yahuwah. Yes, you did. Our mouths can get us in a lot of trouble. Be careful what you speak to Yahuwah. When you're in distress or you're going through a trial, you cannot blame or complain or you can't come against Yahuwah for what you're going through, because it angers him and he will judge you for it. All right, so then you answered and said to me, we have sinned against Yahuwah. We ourselves are going up, and we shall fight as you, our Elohim, commanded us. And when each one of you has girded on his battle gear, you are ready to go up into the mountain. And Yahuwah said to me, say to them, do not go up nor fight, for I am not in your midst, lest you be smitten before your enemies. When you're in disobedience, that, my friend, is when it's time to fear. Why? Because you're not under the protection of Yahuwah, the Almighty. If you're not under his protection, then yes, you should fear your enemies. So it's important that we're obedient and have faith and trust in Yahuwah. So I spoke to you, but you would not listen, and rebelled against the mouth of Yahuwah, and acted proudly and went up into the mountain. Okay? That phraseology right there, mouth of Yahuwah, that's not random. That's a reference to Yahusha. That's one of his titles. He is the mouth of Yahuwah, the voice of Yahuwah. He is the word of Yahuwah. Okay? That's who it's referring to. So they came against or rebelled against the mouth of Yahuwah, the one speaking forth Yahuwah's commands, and acted proudly and went up into the mountain. Then the Amorites who dwelt in that mountain came out against you and chased you as bees do, and drove you back from Seir to Horna. And you returned and wept before Yahuwah, but Yahuwah would not listen to your voice nor give ear to you. Okay, so when you're in rebellion and you're being disobedient to Yahuwah's commands, does he hear you? Absolutely not. He says that if you're in disobedience, you're in rebellion, that your prayers are an abomination and he will not hear you. So you can cry and lament about what you did all you want, but until you teshuvah and turn from that sin and turn from that rebellion, he's not going to listen to you. So you dwelt in Kadesh many days, according to the days that you dwelt. Deuteronomy chapter 2. Then we turned and set out into the wilderness, the way of the Sea of Reeds, as Yahuwah spoke to me. And we went around Mount Seir many days. And Yahuwah spoke to me, saying, you have gone around this mountain long enough. Turn northward. And command the people, saying, you are about to pass over the border of your brothers, the descendants of Esau, who live in Seir, and they are afraid of you, so be on your guard. Do not strive with them, for I do not give you any of their land. No, not so much as one footstep, because I have given Mount Seir to Esau as a possession. So he already gave it to them. He's not gonna withdraw or take back what he's already promised to them. What food you buy from them, with silver you shall eat, and also what water you buy from them, with silver you shall drink. For Yahuwah your Elohim has blessed you in all the work of your hand. He has known your wandering through this great wilderness. These 40 years Yahuwah your Elohim has been with you. You have not lacked any matter. And when we passed beyond our brothers, the descendants of Esau who dwell in Seir, away from the way of the desert plain, away from Elath, and Etzion Geber, we turned and passed over by way of the wilderness of Moab. And Yahuwah said to me, do not distress Moab, nor stir yourself up against them in battle, for I do not give you any of their land as a possession, because I have given Ar to the descendants of Lot as a possession. So again, he had already promised that, so he's not going to give it to these Israelites. He's already given it. The Emites that had dwelt there formerly, a people great and numerous and tall as the Anakim, they were also reckoned as Rephaites, like the Anakim, but the Moabites called them Emites. And the Horites formerly dwelt in Seir, but the descendants of Esau disposed them and destroyed them from before them, and dwelt in their place, as Israel did to the land of their possession which Yahuwah gave to them. Now rise up and pass over the Wadi Zered. So we passed over the Wadi Zered. In case you didn't know, Wadi is Hebrew for river. So they passed over the river Zered. And the time we took to come from Kadesh Barnea until we passed over the Wadi Zered was 38 years, until all the generation of the men of the battle was consumed from the midst of the camp, and as Yahuwah had sworn to them. Okay, so again, we read earlier that he said he would not allow them, that generation, to enter the land, except for two. And also the hand of Yahuwah was against them to destroy them from the midst of the camp until they were consumed. And it came to be, when all the men of the battle had finally perished from among the people, that Yahuwah spoke to me, saying, this day you are to pass over Ar, the boundary of Moab. And when you come near the children of Ammon, do not distress them, nor stir yourself up against them, for I do not give you any of the land of the children of Ammon as a possession, because I have given it to the descendants of Lot as a possession. That was also reckoned as a land of the Rephaites. Rephaites formerly dwelt there, but the Ammonites called them Zamzumim, a people as great and numerous and as tall as the Anakim. But Yahuwah destroyed them before them, and they disposed them and dwelt in their place. As he had done for the descendants of Esau who dwelt in Seir, when he destroyed the Horites from before them. They disposed them and dwelt in their place, even to this day. And the Awim, who dwelt in the villages as far as Azah, the Kaphtorim, who came from Kaphtor, destroyed them and dwelt in their place. Arise, set out and pass over the Wadi Arnon. See, I have given into your hand Sihon the Amorite, sovereign of Heshbon, and his land. Begin to possess it, and stir yourself up against him in battle. This day I begin to put the dread and fear of you upon the peoples under all the heavens, who, when they hear the report of you, shall tremble and shake because of you. Then I sent messengers from the wilderness of Kedemoth to Sihon, sovereign of Heshbon, with the words of peace, saying, let me pass over through your land on the highway. I shall go on the highway and turn neither to the right nor to the left. What food you sell to me for silver I shall eat, and whatever water you give me for silver I shall drink. Only let me pass over on foot, as the descendants of Esau who dwell in Seir, and the Moabites who dwell in Ar did for me, until I pass over the Jordan to the land of Yahuwah our Elohim is giving us. But Sihon, sovereign of Heshbon, would not let us pass over, for Yahuwah your Elohim hardened his spirit and strengthened his heart, to give him into your hand as it is this day. And Yahuwah said to me, see, I have begun to give Sihon and his land over to you, begin to possess, in order to possess his land. And Sihon and all his people came out against us to fight at Yahaz. And Yahuwah our Elohim gave him over to us, so we struck him and his sons and all of his people. And we took all of his cities at that time, and we put the men, women, and little ones of every city under the ban. We left none remaining. Okay, so when you hear that, under the ban, they killed them. So I don't know why it's phrased that way, but that's what it means. They were all killed. Only the livestock we took as plunder for ourselves, and the spoil of the cities which we captured. from Aroer, which is on the edge of the Wadi Arnon, and the city that is by the Wadi. As for Gilead, there was not one city too high for us. Yahuwah our Elohim gave all to us. Only you did not go near the land of the children of Ammon, anywhere along the Wadi Yabok, or to the cities of the mountains, or anywhere as Yahuwah your Elohim commanded us. So this time they obeyed. That's good. Then, chapter 3, then we turned and went up the way of Bashan, and Og, sovereign of Bashan, came out against us, he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. And Yahuwah said to me, do not fear him, for I have given him and all his people and his land into your hand. And you shall do to him as you did to Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, who dwelt at Heshbon. So Yahuwah our Elohim also gave into our hands Og, sovereign of Bashan, with all his people, and we struck him until he had no survivors remaining. And we captured all his cities at that time. There was not a city which we did not take from them. 60 cities, all the district of Argob, the reign of Og in Bashan. And these cities were fenced with high walls, gates, and bars, besides a great many unwalled towns. And we put them under the ban as we did to Sihon, sovereign of Heshbon, putting the men, the women, and the children of every city under the ban. In other words, they were executed. But all the livestock and the spoil of the cities we took as booty for ourselves. And at that time we took the land from the hand of the two sovereigns of the Amorites that was beyond the Jordan, from the Wadi Arnon to Mount Hermon. Sidonians called Hermon Siron, and the Amorites call it Senir. All the cities of the plain, all Gilead and all Bashan, as far as Salcah and Edrei, cities of the reign of Og in Bashan. For only Og, sovereign of Bashan, was left of the remnant of the Rephaites. See, his bedstead was an iron bedstead. It is not in Rabbah of the children of Ammon. 9 cubits is its length, and 4 cubits its width, according to the cubit of a man. And this land which we possessed at that time from Aroer, which is by the Wadi Arnon, and half of the mountains of Gilead, and its cities, I gave to the Reubenites and to the Gadites. And the rest of Gilead and all of Bashan, the reign of Og, I gave to half the tribe of Manasseh, and all the district of Argob, with all Bashan, called the land of the Rephaites. Yair, son of Manasseh, had taken all the district of Argob, as far as the border of the Geshurites, and the Maacathites, and called them after his own name, the Bashan of Hawoth Yair, to this day. And to Machir I gave Gilead. And to the Reubenites and Gadites I gave from Gilead as far as the Wadi Arnon, the middle of the Wadi as the border, as far as the Wadi Yabok, the border of the children of Ammon. And the desert plain and the Jordan as the border, from Kinnereth as far as the sea of Arba, the sea salt, below the slopes of Pisgah on the east. And I commanded you at that time, saying, Yahuwah your Elohim has given you this land to possess. All you sons of might, pass over armed before your brothers, the children of Israel. But let your wives, your little ones, and your livestock, I know that you have much livestock, stay in your cities which I have given to you. Remember, we learned before that they chose not to pass over the Jordan. They wanted the land that was right there because it was really fertile grazing land for cattle. So Yahuwah agreed and gave them that as their possession. Until Yahuwah has given rest to your brothers as to you, and they all possess the land which Yahuwah your Elohim is giving them beyond the Jordan. Then you shall return each man to his possession which I have given you. Again, this is the agreement that they had made with Yahuwah before they came to pass over the Jordan. So Yahuwah is basically just reiterating, this is the covenant we made together, it's going to happen. And I commanded Yehoshua at that time, saying, your eyes have seen all that Yahuwah your Elohim has done to these two sovereigns. Yahuwah does the same to all the reigns which you are passing over. Do not fear them, for Yahuwah your Elohim himself fights for you. Okay, again, do not fear. And I pleaded with Yahuwah at that time, saying, O Master Yahuwah, you have begun to show your servant your greatness and your strong hand. Who's this strong hand? I want you to start seeing these things. Who is Yahuwah's strong hand? His mighty outstretched arm. That's Yahusha. This is a reference to Yahusha. You have begun to show your servant your greatness and your strong hand. For who is a mighty one in the heavens or on earth who does according to your works and according to your might? I pray, let me pass over and see the good land beyond the Jordan, this good hill country in Lebanon. Okay, but Yahuwah already said that he's not going to be allowed to pass over the Jordan, so we know that's not going to happen. But Yahuwah was enraged with me for your sake and would not listen to me. And Yahuwah said to me, enough of that. Speak no more to me about this matter. Okay, he already told Moshe that he wasn't going to be allowed to go into the promised land. So now he's getting angry because Moshe brought it up again. To let me go over. No. He's basically telling Moshe, shut up. Don't talk about that anymore. Verse 27, go up to the top of Pisgah and lift your eyes westward and northward and southward and eastward, and look with your eyes, for you do not pass over this Jordan. But command Yehoshua and strengthen him, and make him brave, for he shall pass over before this people. Excuse me. And cause them to inherit, the land which you see. And we dwelt in the valley opposite Beth Peor. So now we're going to the Haftarah, which is the prophets and the small books there. That is Isaiah chapter 1, and we're going to read the whole thing. So if you would turn with me to Isaiah chapter 1. And again, we're going to just read the whole thing. Okay, verse 1. The vision of Yeshayahu, son of Amoz, which he saw concerning Yehuda and Yerushalayim in the days of Uzziahu, Jotham, Ahaz, Hizkiyahu, sovereigns of Yehuda. Now I want you to notice something there. This version, the TS 2009, has restored Yahu to the names of these prophets of Israel, these people of Israel, who had Yahu in their name. After Babylon, any names and words with Yahu were changed to Yeho or Yehu, typically Yeho. That's how you get Yehovah, which is a made-up name. This is restoring Yahu to those names. I don't know why they didn't restore it to Yehuda, because that's one of the most important ones. But Yahu is the name of the Father. That's the part of his name that he gave to his son, Yahu, Yahusha. Verse 2, Hear, O heavens, and listen, O earth, for Yahuwah has spoken. I have reared and brought up the children, but they have transgressed against me. An ox knows its owner, and a donkey its master's crib. Israel does not know, my people have not understood. Alas, sinning nation, a people loaded with crookedness, a seed of evildoers, sons acting corruptly. They have forsaken Yahuwah, they have provoked the set-apart one of Israel. They went backward. Not wise. Why should you be stricken any more? You continue in apostasy. All the head is sick and the heart faints. From the sole of the foot to the head there is no soundness in it. Wounds and bruises and open sores, they have not been closed up or bound up or soothed with ointment. Your land is laid waste, your cities are burned with fire, strangers devour your land in your presence, and it is laid waste and as overthrown by strangers. Okay, I want to reiterate this. If he did this to his chosen ones, if Yahuwah did all of this to his chosen ones because of their rebellion and because of their sin, what do you suppose is going to happen to all these lawless, rebellious Christians? They're going to be judged and destroyed just like he did to these rebellious Israelites. Okay? That's what's coming, and it's going to be horrible. And the daughter of Zion is left as a booth in a vineyard, as a hut in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Unless Yahuwah of hosts had left to us a small remnant, we would have become like Sodom. We would have been made like Amorah. So they would have been completely and utterly destroyed. But Yahuwah, because of his promise to Abraham, spared part of them. Hear the word of Yahuwah, you rulers of Sodom. Give ear to the Torah of our Elohim, you people of Amorah. Of what use to me are your many slaughterings, declares Yahuwah. I have had enough of ascended offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts. I do not delight in the blood of bulls or the lambs of goats. Okay, so what's going on here? It's talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, but why is he saying he doesn't accept their offerings and their oblations? Why? Because they're living in sin. They're transgressing Torah and living in sin, but yet still doing the requirements. And when you do that, it's just like your prayers. If you're living in rebellion and disobedience, your prayers are an abomination. Well, it's the same thing here. Because of their disobedience and rebellion against Torah, he does not accept their offerings. He does not accept their gifts. When you come to appear before me, who has required this from your hand, to trample my courtyards? Stop bringing futile offerings, incense, and it is an abomination to me. Okay, so see, it's an abomination. New moons, Sabbaths, the calling of gatherings, I am unable to bear unrighteousness and assembly. Okay, what did I just tell you? Yahuwah just revealed exactly what I just told you. He is unable to bear both unrighteousness and assembly at the same time. So if you're lawless and rebellious, he hates it. It's an abomination to him, and he does not accept your assemblies. So all these Christians that think they're doing good, worshiping Yahuwah every Sunday, or who they call God, he doesn't take it. He doesn't accept it. He turns from it. So they're wasting their time. My being hates your new moons and your appointed times. They are a trouble to me. I am weary of bearing them. Why? Because of their rebellion. And when you spread out your hands, I hide my eyes from you. Even though you make many prayers, I do not hear. Your hands have become filled with blood. Okay, so again, when you're walking in disobedience and lawlessness, even if you're doing the requirements of Torah, as far as offerings and all that stuff, he doesn't accept it. You have to walk in Torah. You have to walk in obedience, or these things, he despises them. But now he's going to tell them, what do you have to do? What do you have to do for him to, again, accept your offerings and your Sabbaths and your new moons? Wash yourselves, make yourselves clean, put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Stop doing evil. What is doing evil? Evil or sin is transgressing Torah. Learn to do good, seek right ruling, reprove the oppressor, defend the fatherless, plead for the widow. So are we just supposed to sit by? As believers, are we supposed to sit by and let the oppressor do his thing? Nope. Are we supposed to let the fatherless be trampled upon or the widow be trampled upon? Nope. We are supposed to reprove the oppressor, defend the fatherless, and plead for the widow. It is our Torah mandate to stand up for the weak. Come now, and let us reason together, says Yahuwah. Though your sins are like scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they are red like crimson, they shall be as wool. If, again, the biggest word, the biggest, most heavily weighed word in all of Scripture is that word, if. If you submit and obey, you shall eat the good of the land. Okay? So again, if they don't teshuvah, what's going to happen? If they don't turn from their sins, if they don't submit and obey, what's going to happen to them? But if you refuse and rebel, you shall be devoured by the sword, for the mouth of Yahuwah has spoken. Again, that is a reference to Yahusha. Okay? The mouth of Yahuwah, Yahusha, has spoken. How the steadfast city has become a whore. I have filled it with right ruling, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers. Okay, so when it started off, Sodom and Gomorrah weren't evil. They kept Torah, they kept the feast, they kept Shabbat, they kept the new moons. But what happened? They forsook all of that. They forsook obedience and espoused violence and hate and evil. Your silver has become dross. Your wine is mixed with water. Your rulers are stubborn and companions of thieves. Okay, so what is that? Go back to verse 22. Your silver has become dross. In other words, it's not pure, so they're ripping people off with the money. Your wine is mixed with water, so they're diluting. They're ripping people off. Your rulers are stubborn and companions of thieves. All of their rulers are corrupt. Everyone loves bribes and runs after rewards. They do not defend the fatherless, nor does the cause of the widow reach them. Therefore the Master declares, Yahuwah of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I shall be eased of my adversaries, and I shall be avenged of my enemies. Okay, pause right there. So, when you're walking in lawlessness, and you're walking in disobedience, you are Yahuwah's adversary and his enemy. That is really harsh words, right? Do you want to be the enemy and adversary of Yahuwah? If not, you better start obeying Torah. You better start walking in Abba Yahuwah's laws and commands. Verse 25. I shall turn my hand against you, and shall refine your dross as with lye, and shall remove all your alloy. And I shall give back your judges as at the first, and your counselors at the beginning. After this you shall be called the city of righteousness, a steadfast city. In other words, he's going to purify Zion. Zion shall be ransomed with right ruling, and her returning ones with righteousness. Okay, so no longer is Israel going to be evil and walking in unrighteousness and lawlessness. They're going to follow Torah. They're going to rule in justice and right ruling. Notice it says the returning ones, her returning ones. Why? Why does it say her returning ones with righteousness? Because he knew Israel was going to be destroyed because of her rebellion and dispersed amongst the nations. Well, it's her returning ones that are going to act with righteousness. So don't you dare call all of Israel fake and the Jews, Yahudim, they're fake. Abba Yahuwah satisfied prophecy when they started returning. And what does it say? They will be returning ones with righteousness. And the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners is together. And those who forsake Yahuwah shall be consumed. This goes right along with the Christians. If you're not walking in Torah obedience, you will be consumed for forsaking Yahuwah. For they shall be ashamed of the terebinth trees which you have desired. Those are false idols. You shall be embarrassed. You shall be embarrassed because of all of the gardens which you have chosen. For you shall be as a terebinth whose leaf fades, and as a garden that has no water. The strong shall be for tow, and for his work a spark, and both shall burn together, with no one to extinguish. So this is not just a warning to Israel. This is a warning to us, to you and me, that we have to walk in obedience or we're going to suffer the same fate that Israel suffered. Because when you're disobedient to Torah and walk in lawlessness, you are the enemy and adversary of Yahuwah. All right, so let's go to the gospel. We're going to read Matthew chapter 24 in its entirety. So if you'll turn to Matthew chapter 24, then we'll wrap up with the blessing, and then I'll release you to go. All right, Matthew chapter 24. Now, I'm going to make a lot of comments about this chapter. This chapter is prophetic about the end times, and it's going to reiterate some of the stuff which I just spoke to you. There's a lot of stuff in here. Some people are saying that we're already in Satan's little season. Excuse me, what does that mean? They believe that Yahushua rose again, already had his 1,000-year millennial reign, and that we're in the time after that where Satan is released and allowed to deceive the world again. We are absolutely not in Satan's little season, and the tribulation has not occurred. We're going to do a study about that too. Verse 1, And going out, Yahushua went away from the set-apart place, and his taught ones came near to point out to him the buildings of the set-apart place. And Yahushua said to them, Do you not see all of these? Truly I say to you, not one stone shall be left here upon another, at all, which shall not be thrown down. Okay, so they were talking about the buildings, not the foundation. The foundation remains, that's the Temple Mount. And as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the taught ones came to him separately, saying, Say to us, when shall this be, and what is the sign of your coming in the end of this age? And Yahushua answering said to them, Take heed that no one leads you astray. Okay, pardon right there. Right now, there is a plague of people being deceived by false spirits. People that are being duped by demons into believing that they're special, that they're reincarnated Elijah or reincarnated Moses or reincarnated Yahushua himself, calling themselves as if they are Messiah. And it's sad, but it's also dangerous because they're leading people astray. So this is a warning that if you see someone that says they're one of these people, one of the patriarchs, one of the prophets, or they say that they're Messiah, Mashiach himself, do not believe them. You shouldn't even be friends with them. They are deceived and they're going to lead you astray with their demonic influence. For many shall, notice that says many, for many shall come in my name, saying that I am the Messiah, and they shall lead many astray. Don't be one of those led astray. And you shall begin to hear of fightings and reports of fightings, so that you are not, see that you are not troubled, for these have to take place, but the end is not yet. Okay, so he's talking about what's called the birthing pangs. What are the birthing pangs? The birthing pangs are the seals. The 7 seals of Yahuwah. The birthing pangs are the first 5 seals. That's increase in war, increase in violence, increase in famine. All those things are going to increase worse and worse and worse, but he's saying this is not the end yet. The end is going to be so much worse. These are the birthing pangs that lead up to the end. For nation shall rise against nation, wars, and reign against reign, and there shall be scarcities of food and deadly diseases and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. Okay, so these are the warning signs. These are the end time signs telling us that we're in the end times. Then they shall deliver you up to affliction and kill you, and you shall be hated by all nations for my name's sake. This is the persecution and murder of Christians. These are the martyrs that it talks about in Revelations. that are standing before the throne. And then many shall stumble, and they shall be delivered up one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise up and lead many astray. So again, do not listen to these false prophets. If someone is giving you a date for Mashiach's return, do not listen to anything that person says. Not even Yahushua HaMashiach knows the day of his own return. So how can we possibly know it? I mean, honestly, we can't. It's impossible. Not the messengers, the angels, not Yahushua, not the prophets. Only Abba Yahuwah knows the day of Yahushua's return. So anybody that's giving you a date for any of this, for the tribulation, for Mashiach's return, run from those people. They are false prophets. Do not listen to anything they say. And because of the increase in lawlessness, the love of many shall become cold. That's one of the best descriptions of Christianity I've heard. Lawlessness and cold without love. But he who shall have endured unto the end shall be saved. That motif, that template is found throughout the Brit Hadashah, the renewed covenant. We are not saved until you endure until the end of your life. When you breathe your last breath, or you're caught up when Yahushua returns. You have to endure until the end. You have to be obedient and walk in righteousness until the end to be saved. If you do not, and you walk in lawlessness, yes, you have eternal life because you believe in Yahushua, but you will be cast into outer darkness. You will be cut asunder and destroyed. This is the good news of the reign, the good news of the reign of heaven, shall be proclaimed in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end shall come. So, okay, now we're going to see some of the signs that happen that herald the tribulation. These are the signs that begin the tribulation. This is the very start of the tribulation. So when you see the abomination that lays waste, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, set up in the set-apart place, he who reads, let him understand. So what is that abomination that lays waste? That's the image of the beast. Okay? The anti-Mashiach sets up his image on the Temple Mount at the northern entrance of the Dome of the Rock. And I can prove that out in Scripture, that's where he puts it. That's another study I need to go back over, and then we can do on one of these Shabbats, that you will see that none of this has taken place yet. So have we seen the image of the beast set up on the Holy Mount? Nope. Then those who are in Yehuda flee to the mountains. Okay, so when you see that happen and you see that the tribulation is starting, we're supposed to flee where we're at. We're supposed to go to Israel, to Petra, to the hidden place. That's the mountains it's referring to. Let him who is on the housetop not come down to take whatever is out of his house. In other words, when it happens, we're going to be fleeing. We're not going to have time to gather up supplies. We're going to have to just go. So you have a to-go bag, make a go bag and get prepared, because when the time comes, everything is going to move really swiftly. Let him who is on the housetop not come down, nor take whatever out of his house. And let him who is in the field not turn back to get his garments. So you're not even supposed to return to get a bag. Woe unto those who are pregnant and to those who are nursing children in those days, because that's going to be real difficult. And pray that your flight does not take place in the winter or on the Sabbath. For then, okay, then shall there be great distress, such as not been since the beginning of the world until this time, no, nor ever shall be. And if those days were not shortened, no flesh would be saved. But for the sake of the chosen ones, those days shall be shortened. Okay, do any of you know how many people are going to die during the tribulation? 2/3 of the earth are going to die in the tribulation. 2/3 out of 7 billion people. That's crazy. So you're talking about 2.5 times 2, so you're looking at about 5.5 billion people are going to die. If anyone then says to you, look, here is the Messiah, or there, do not believe. They are being led astray by demons. For false messiahs and false prophets shall arise, and they shall show great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the chosen ones. That's a stern warning. Run away from these people. People that are proclaiming to be prophets and Messiah, if they're claiming to know the date of Mashiach's return, they are a false prophet. Do not believe a word they say. See, I have forewarned you. Okay, see, he's letting us know that all this is going to happen. And again, we are seeing it come to fruition before our eyes. I have met people calling themselves Elijah, Moses, Yahusha, King David. These people are deceived by demons. Do not listen to them. So if they say to you, look, he is in the desert, do not go out. Or look, he is in the inner rooms, do not believe. Okay, so now he's going to tell us, how do we spot or see, how do I identify who the Messiah is? When he returns, how are we going to identify him? Is he just going to show up somewhere on earth and say he's Mashiach? Nope. Verse 27, for as lightning comes from the east and shines to the west, so also shall the coming of the Son of Adam be. Okay? So he's going to appear in the clouds of glory, and there's going to be a massive flash of light that traverses the entire earth. For wherever the dead body is, there the vultures shall be gathered together. Okay, so we're seeing the motif of the Son of Adam, Yahusha, returning. Where is he going to? What is he doing? Is there a big dinner in the sky like Christianity teaches? Christianity teaches there's a rapture, and that we're all going to be taken up into the sky and have a big dinner while Abba Yahuwah pours his judgment on the earth. They could not be more wrong. The marriage supper of the Lamb is not some big dinner in the sky for us. It's a dinner on the earth for the wicked. Okay, the Battle of Armageddon, Yahusha steps on the Mount of Olives and cleaves it in two, and then he says, I am. And all the armies that are encamped around Israel are popped. They destroyed. Boom, they're dead. Remember, it says the blood is going to be up to the horse's bridle from all those people that died. Well, this, verse 28, is talking about that feast, the marriage supper of the Lamb, where he draws all the fowls of the earth to Jerusalem to feed on the flesh of those gathered against Israel. For wherever the dead body is, there the vultures shall be gathered together. And immediately after the distress of those days, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give its light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Okay, so what are we seeing there? This is after the tribulation. There are two instances where you see issues with the sun and the moon, and this one is after the tribulation. There's also one that is before the tribulation that is an indicator of the beginning of the tribulation. Okay? The sun is darkened and the moon turns to blood in that event. Here, the sun and the moon are darkened. The stars fall from heaven. I believe, yes, that's a reference to the angels, the demonic angels, the demonic host of heaven being cast out of heaven. Okay? And the powers of the heavens, see, the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Does that mean all the stars that you see out in space are angels? Absolutely not. That's nonsense. Verse 30. And then, okay, so when you see the sun darkened and the moon darkened at the same time, and stars falling from the heaven, then, verse 30, then the sign of the Son of Adam shall appear in the heaven, and all the tribes of the earth shall mourn, and they shall see the Son of Adam coming on the clouds of heaven with power and much esteem. So how are we going to see Yahushua return? In the clouds of glory, visibly, with his host with him, in his glory and esteem. Okay, so if you got somebody showing up on earth, randomly saying they're Mashiach, absolutely do not listen to them. Do not listen to a word they say. They are deceived. Verse 31. And he shall send his messengers with a great sound of a trumpet. Okay, what trumpet is that? If you know anything about Revelations, you'll find out that's the 7th trumpet. That is the final trumpet, the end of the tribulation. So he sends his messengers with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his chosen ones from the four winds, from one end of the heavens to the other. Okay, so what the Christians call the rapture is the catching up of Abba Yahuwah's elect. And it's at the end of the tribulation, on the day of Yahushua's return. Verse 32, and learn this parable from the fig tree. When its branch has already become tender and put forth its leaves, you know that summer is nigh. So you also, when you see all of these, okay, all of these signs, when you see all of these signs, you know that he is near, even at the doors. Truly I say to you that this generation shall by no means pass away until all this takes place. The heaven and the earth shall pass away, but my words shall by no means pass away. But concerning that day and hour no one knows, not even the messengers of the heavens, but my Father only. A lot of people like to use, there's an idiom regarding a festival that says that no one knows the day or the hour. Why? Because it's determined by the new moon, right? Well, that is not what this is talking about. It's clearly speaking that it's about the return of Yahushua. It just said it was talking about the return of Yahushua. So we cannot excuse away this verse with that idiom saying that it doesn't count. But concerning the day or the hour, no one knows, not even the messengers of the heavens, but my Father only. This is right from Yahushua. He just said out of his own mouth, nobody, not the prophets, not the angels, not even himself, the Son of Yahuwah, knows when his day of return is. Only his Father. That also proves that Yahushua is not Yahuwah. If he was, he would know. Would he not? He's not also his Father. And as the days of Noah, so also shall the coming of the Son of Adam be. For as they were in the days before the flood, eating, drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, they did not know until the flood came and took them all away. Excuse me. So also shall the coming of the Son of Adam be. Okay, again, this is referring to the catching up of the elect at the end of the tribulation. Then two shall be in the field, the one is taken and the one is left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, one is taken and one is left. Watch therefore, for you do not know what hour your master is coming. Think about the parable of the virgins, right? They did not know the hour that the bridegroom was going to come. The foolish ones didn't have oil in their lamps. They were not obedient. They didn't have the Ruach HaKodesh. They had no oil in their lamps. Why? Because they were rebellious. Watch therefore, for you do not know when the hour your master is coming. Okay, you do not know when his return is, neither does he. And know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. So the reason for Yahushua returning spontaneously, without warning, is because he's testing us to see where we're going to be when he returns. Are we going to be obedient to his Father? Or are we going to be screwing around in the world? Because of this, be ready too, for the Son of Adam is coming at an hour when you do not expect him. Who then is trustworthy and wise servant, whom his master set over his household to give them food in season? Blessed is that servant whom his master, having come, shall find so doing. Again, it's he wants us to prove our faith and obedience. He's going to come when we're not expecting it because he wants to see us whether or not we're obedient to his Father. Truly I say to you that he shall set him over all his possessions. So those that have both faith in Yahusha and are obedient to Torah, Abba is going to make them great in his kingdom. But if that evil servant, now pause right there, verse 48. But if that evil servant, oh, wait a minute. How can a servant of Yahuwah be evil? Because they're in rebellion. They're living in lawlessness. That is an evil servant. Those are the children of the kingdom. Those are people that believe in Yahusha but refuse to obey Torah. Those are evil servants. What's going to happen to those servants? But if that evil servant or child of the kingdom says in his heart, my master, okay, notice again, this person is calling Yahusha their master, but they're an evil servant. My master delays his coming and begins to beat his fellow servants and to eat and drink with drunkards. The master of that servant shall come on a day when he does not expect it, and an hour which he does not know. Okay, that person's not going to see the signs coming. They're going to be dumb to it. And shall cut him in two, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So they're going to be cast out into outer darkness because of their lawlessness and their rebellion. Okay? So, that's a huge stern warning to all of Christianity. Because all of Christianity, what are they doing? They're behaving exactly that way. They're lawless. So I hope you learned some stuff from this study. I hope it blesses you, and that you take these warnings to heart, because time is drawing short. And when Yahusha returns, if you're not operating in obedience and faith, here is the patience of the faith of the saints. Here are they who keep the commandments of Yahuwah and faith in Yahushua Mashiach. You're not a sealed remnant unless you're doing both. You're not a wise virgin unless you're doing both. You cannot have faith without obedience, and you cannot have obedience without faith. Both are folly. Both are worthless. So, again, I hope you're blessed by this study today. So now we're going to sing the Aaronic blessing, the Aaronic benediction, and then I will dismiss you. Yivarekecha Yahuwah Vayish Merecha Yair Yahuwah Panavelecha Vichuneka Yisayahuah Panavelecha V'yisem Lecha Shalom. B'Shem Yahusha HaMashiach Sarha Shalom Shalom. May Yahuwah bless you and keep you. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. In the name of Yahushua the Messiah, the Prince of Peace. Shalom. Again, thank you for joining us for this set-apart time of Yahuwah. Shabbat Shalom and Shavua Tov for the coming week.